This is 5 Minute Feng Shui Podcast episode 180. Chandeliers are great feng shui. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui Podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese feng shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover feng shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement feng shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello there, my feng shui friend. This is the 3rd time I'm trying to start this podcast. We're in a Mercury retrograde, just big and fat as Dallas, and I will tell you, it has given me all kinds of problems today, this morning. Oh my goodness. Gosh, I hope your May is going well. My May has been going well, even if today's podcast hasn't been. That's okay. We all struggle. The struggle is real. But there's been some really nice things that have been happening for me recently. At the first of the year, I started working on a hospice project. We had that polar vortex here in Texas a year and a half ago that just decimated so many plants. I lost 7 citrus trees. Oh, I could cry thinking about it. Still, yes, the pain still is real. At any rate, my neighbor who's been involved with the hospice in our local community, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's such an asset to our community to have it. They had so many problems with the freeze. It just decimated the landscape. And my neighbor asked if I would help design a new landscape plan for their hospice and for the grounds that surround this beautiful building. And I did that, and it all kind of came together last Friday, and what a fulfilling and wonderful thing to have been part of and to see come to fruition. And it really is a beautiful place to visit. The gardens are so beautiful now, and it's full of life and beauty and tranquility and enjoyment, especially important for families who come to visit their loved ones as they're transitioning in life. And this was a great project to be involved with, and something I'm going to continue being involved with because I would like to see it and be part of it and work as a volunteer with the hospice and especially with the landscape, because I love doing that. I love working on design projects. And I have another design project that's coming to completion this Friday, and it is for a project on an assisted living resident. It's for her studio apartment. It's a makeover for a TV web series. I'm very excited about it. You'll see all about it or hear all about it here on the podcast and on social media. And this is something that I've been planning for also since the first of the year, and now it's going to be coming to life. I've been working on it, doing sewing projects and making bed skirts and European sham pillows. I even made a ruffle for the European sham pillow out of, I needed to gather the ruffle. I have a ruffler foot for my, let me see, no, it's, how old is it? It's 80-year-old sewing machine. That's right. I work on an 80-year-old sewing machine for my 92-year-old resident. I love it. It touches me so much to be using the machine that my grandmother had and to be able to work on a project that is for a woman who is my grandmother's age or actually a little bit, maybe my grandmother might have been a little bit older, but at any rate, it's a beautiful project. But I ended up making the ruffle by hand stitching it with dental floss. And the reason why, you'll need a strong thread to pull the fabric to make the ruffle. I thought that was really, really a neat way to make a ruffle. I'd seen it online. And not only that, but when she lays down to sleep at night or lies down to sleep at night, she will have minty fresh pillow. Anyway, this is coming to a conclusion. Gosh, so many things coming to conclusions. This month, we just had a major eclipse a lunar eclipse, so something is going to be changing. My folks are going to be going into assisted living in the coming weeks. So lots of changes going on in my life, and hope they're all good on your end as well. We've got lots of change going on in the environment between the pandemic and crazy prices and stock market plunging and all kinds of stuff. It's quite the roller coaster we've been on so far this year. But we do have, I think, some things that we can always focus on that will brighten and lighten our energy. And wherever we can find those things, like activities that we can do to help others, especially like volunteering, like I was working with the hospice in my community. I hope that you will do something like that, because there's nothing that makes you feel better as when you get out of yourself and you help others. So I highly encourage you, if you're feeling down or you're feeling like you need a pick-me-up, go do something for somebody else. I want to speak out about somebody who did something for me, and that was I received a Valentine card, I kid you not, 2 weeks ago. Jennifer, you sent me a beautiful Valentine's card, and I looked for it, and it never came. It just arrived. I kid you not. Let me tell you, I just sent a check in the mail. It made me very nervous. It took 3 months to get a Valentine card, but what a precious Valentine. It was Jennifer's little son, Austin, and he's not even quite a year old, and he's sending out Valentines. Now, how sweet is that? Precious, precious little boy. Absolutely darling, and so sweet of you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for sending that to me. It was a day or a month brightener, actually. So thank you. Speaking of brighteners, let's talk about chandeliers, because they are absolutely awesome feng shui. They have so much to offer your home and to offer you with their beauty and their light. And I want to talk about that because that's something that I haven't talked about. I couldn't believe it when I was checking through my podcast and I was thinking about, what am I going to talk about this week? And I said, oh my gosh, I have not talked about chandeliers. And Lord knows we need something to lift us up, right? To brighten and lighten our lives. That is it's absolutely essential. So if you've ever wondered or thought about getting a chandelier and you thought, oh, that seems like a splurge or something I don't need, no, I hereby grant you permission to go get one, and you can tell your husband or wife or partner that this is feng shui essential. Now you know it's essential when you go into like beautiful restaurants and hotels, especially like you go into any Chinese restaurant and you will often see beautiful chandeliers. I still remember taking my mother and sister out to lunch at the Shangri-La Hotel in Hong Kong and seeing the magnificent chandeliers there, and I still haven't forgotten the taste of the lobster fried rice. Oh! Now, I digress. Back to the chandeliers. Now, you might think this might be to dress up the interior of a restaurant to have these beautiful chandeliers, but they're also they have a symbolic place in restaurants and in your home. Chandeliers bring up the quality of the dining experience because they invite wonderful qi, and they also stimulate appetite. So it's a wonderful win-win. They are beautiful. They help burn through energy that's at the table, which sometimes people can have some tensions around the table. Just ask anybody who's sat down to Christmas dinner or any holiday dinner, and family starts getting tick, 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 that kind of thing. And chandeliers over your dining room table will solve all that. Yes, they are wonderful. So let's talk about why you need a chandelier in your home. Well, first of all, they enhance your dining. So like I was saying, if you've ever noticed like large groups or at a Chinese restaurant, many times Chinese or Asian diners gather in large groups around those nice round tables. I know we had a Chinese restaurant where I used to live in Austin, and they were kind of famous locally because a lot of Asian families would come in and they had big round tables with the big lazy Susan in the middle. It was really nice to see these families coming and enjoying the wonderful meal at this particular restaurant. It's called Powell's, and it's in Lakeway. So if you go to Lakeway, Texas, go to Powell's and get their fabulous wonton soup. It's out of this world. Anyhow, Now I'm getting hungry for Chinese. Anyhow, but the thing that's so cool about them is these chandeliers in the restaurants help to create a symbiotic relationship. They go hand in hand with a Chinese society. They're believed to bring good luck, and the earth energy of the crystal is and the stimulating light, which is fire element and cooks food. It is an enhancer to your dining room, to your appetite, and toward burning through any kind of animosity so that the relationships that are made around the table are strengthened around the table. They always are, but chandelier would make it even stronger. So why not have them? I think they're absolutely a terrific addition. I think we should definitely follow this tradition. Now, one of the important things that chandeliers do in your home is they lift chi, and this makes the light that they produce one of the most auspicious feng shui activators you can have. And it becomes doubled and tripled when the light that they give off is reflected in that beautiful sparkling crystal chandelier. The prisms of a chandelier can throw off rainbows, which brings beautiful, wonderful chi. And the crystals represent Earth's purest and highest form of energy, which is also a source of abundance and happiness and this groundedness that we so need these days. It's interesting how you can lift energy, but it's sort of grounding at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. And that's a wonderful thing that those beautiful prismatic crystals that you see on chandeliers can do. Let's talk about them as remedies. Because chandeliers are earth energy with all that crystal, they're excellent as remedies for problems. Like when you have a stove and a sink that are opposite one another, you can put a chandelier between them. That means, the conflict between fire and water is doused with the earth. That earth energy of a chandelier acts as a go-between and can settle the quarrel between two clashing energies, man and woman, fire and water. So these are really good to have in your kitchen as well as your dining room. Now, let's talk about another place where they're important, and that's at your foyer. When you put a chandelier in your foyer or near the front door, that beautiful energy of the lighted crystals draws beautiful energy to your home's entryway. And this is so important because at your entrance is where all energy comes into your home. And the type and kind of energy that is at the entrance of your home is a type and kind of energy that flows through your home. So that's why we always want that energy at our front door, at our foyer, at our entryway, the front yard. We always want it to be beautiful. We want it to be auspicious. We want it to be welcoming, and we want it to look beautiful and something that is admirable, that you look at it and you go, that is a beautiful lamp. That's a beautiful chandelier. You want it to be admired, especially if you've got a big window at the front of your home and you can see into it. I have a big arched window. And I have a really sad little light fixture that needs to be replaced. So you can bet I'm going to be looking for a chandelier. Now, let's also talk about how they help people. Chandeliers are so good for the matriarch, the woman of the house. Women are symbolized by the earth element, and lighted earth, like what a chandelier is, it brings wonderful luck to the woman of the house and to marital relationships or any kind of loving or romantic relationships. It also enhances all relationships and love luck of all the household members. Hey, who couldn't use some love luck, right? We all can. We need more love than ever, right? John Lennon was so right. Love is all you need. Now, chandeliers are also great in bedrooms. I love putting a chandelier just about anywhere, in the closet, in your bedroom. Even I saw one even in a bathroom, and it was gorgeous. I'm thinking, why not dress it up? Chandeliers are wonderful for lifting energies any room in the house. Especially if the room is dark or dull, like a closet often is, a chandelier easily brings the chi of the room up. But do be careful about hanging a chandelier over the bed. Directly over the bed is not a good idea. And if you have a room that's kind of small and maybe your fixture is over the bed, maybe try a smaller flush mount. That might be a better choice for you than a full-on chandelier, because you never really want to be directly underneath something. So whether that's a ceiling fan or a chandelier, but in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your closet, in your foyer, no matter where you put them in your home, they will lift the energy there, and they're especially good in a bedroom, especially a romantic bedroom. So think about adding a chandelier in your bedroom. Now let's talk about walking underneath them. Because they do have pressing earth energy, you don't want chandeliers are too large or too heavy if they're going to be, you're going to be sitting underneath them, or like in a living room situation. Now, if you're in a dining room, usually the chandelier's going to be over the table, so nobody's going to be sitting directly under it. So I wouldn't worry about that. You just don't want to sit underneath it or sleep underneath a large chandelier. And now let's talk about how you can use them to activate critical corners. Really, chandeliers are wonderful just anywhere in the house, but they're especially helpful in certain corners. You can use chandeliers in the west and northwest to light with earth energy that the crystals bring up the energy of the west and benefit children and the man of the house. And in the northeast and the southwest, chandeliers with their energy will help relationships, create family harmony. And in the South, they bring prosperity, success, and material benefits. In the East, they help to keep some of the wood energy under control, but also light is an activator. So unless you've got, I can't imagine that you're going to have, a really, crazy chandelier, but chandeliers are even good in wood sectors, as long as they're not just too huge and too enormous. But they're not altogether bad, because the crystal of the chandelier is usable by the wood energy. So that's a good thing. Plus, light is a beautiful activator. But overall, I'd say if you put them in the South, in the Southwest, it's going to do wonderful things for your marriage, for your reputation. Also excellent in the Northeast, especially for education, for thoughtfulness. But there's really not a wrong place that you can put a chandelier. Hey, listen, I'm giving you a heads up because, I like you. And there's going to be a certain girl who's got a birthday coming up, and there might be a certain sale on the Success Pack. I'm just giving you what I'm hearing on the street. And if you haven't bought the Success Pack, if you haven't read about the Year of the Tiger, I just want you to know, keep your eyes and ears out, because there might be some announcement that could come out here in the next week or so that might have a really special offer for you. And if you have the Success Pack, I thank you so much for buying it. I thank you so much for being part of that community, because we have a really wonderful group of people in our Success Pack community, and many of them who go for our gold level are in my private Facebook group. And yes, I might even have that on sale too. So if you've been thinking about it, maybe it's time to upgrade. Or if you haven't had a chance to join the group before, this would be a great time to do it. All right, well, listen. Think about getting a chandelier, light up your life, lift energy. Let's talk about 3 important tips. When you choose a chandelier, choose one that lifts your heart. You really want to look at it and just love the beauty of it. The more you love and enjoy your chandelier, the more it's going to love and lift your life. Number 2, chandeliers lift the energy of your whole house, especially when you have them in the foyer and at the front of your house. So be thinking about lifting up that energy and making it as beautiful as it can be. Lastly, you're going to activate both heaven and earth energy when you add a chandelier to your home. No matter where you put it, they're going to bring beautiful energy that is going to help you with relationships, with thinking, helps the man of the house, the woman of the house, the kids of the house, helps everybody. So get a chandelier or 5 and put them everywhere. All right, have a great week. I'll talk to you on the next episode of 5-Minute Feng Shui. Hey, thanks for listening today. Although the Year of the Tiger is here, it's come in with a roar, and there's going to be some big ups and downs this year, like the invasion in Ukraine. But I wrote about Putin and some of the other world leaders in the Year of the Tiger Feng Shui Forecast and Success Pack. Now, back in 2021, when I was writing this in the fall, I could see this on the horizon and I warned about it. There's other things that you're going to want to know too, like where to invest your money, where to find love, and what to expect all year. And I cover all houses and bedroom directions and every zodiac sign. The Success Pack will help you be ready for the year, be prepared, make more money, and keep fortune on your side. Check out the Year of the Tiger Feng Shui forecast at redlotusletter.com/water tiger, all one word.